A new report says flavored nitrous oxide and laughing gas type of thing. Those products are on the rise.
The new age whippets for younger children. Well, that's also bringing health concerns, so we want to talk about it with our 9 News parenting expert, Dr. Sheryl Ziegler. So let's talk with basics here. What are whippets and how are they being used or misused?
Yeah, so they're canisters of nitrous oxide. And kids have figured out for decades, right? If you inhale it, you get this euphoric feeling.
That's laughing gas. We tend to think of nitrous oxide as something you might see at a dentist office.
Yes, and now they're just sold, so they're commercially legal. I mean, they're legal, but they're commercially legal because people use them for whipped cream. So what they've decided to do, just kind of like the vaping industry, Juul in particular, they market it in a way that seems pretty appealing for kids, and they also make them flavors. So it's now not flavorless. They have blue raspberry and they have all these different kinds of flavor concoctions. So it looks like something a kid would use, it tastes like something a kid would like, and we are seeing now kids really becoming addicted to this. I mean, there are retailers that'll say it's like crack for kids. It's really addictive for them.
And those flavor choices are clearly aimed at youngsters.
Right, nobody will say that, but we know that certain marketing and colors and flavors kids are particularly drawn to.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. They did it with the vodkas. They did it with the vapes. They did it with all these flavors that a younger person might like, bubble gum or whatever. What are the risks, though, if you're getting addicted? I mean, what does it do to you?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. I just want to say it's not safe to drive while you're doing this. And so in this article that the New Yorker magazine did, they talked about people who were revealing, the insiders were saying, we see people coming back multiple times a day, and we see them in the car actively doing this as they're driving away.
No.
Very unsafe. And so basically, sorry, what was the question you asked me?
I'm thinking about. What does it do? So, what are the risks?
Yes.
And how do you get addicted? I mean, it's because this euphoric feeling.
Yes, euphoric feeling. And so the risks are seizures, neurological issues, paralysis, addiction. They're really serious when you continuously use them.
So why wouldn't it be somehow protected by legislation or something? Why couldn't it be made hard to buy with an age restriction or complete restriction?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. I looked up to see where we were in Colorado. In Colorado, it's free to buy. You can buy that. It's supposed to be, again, for commercial use. And I would say right now there's a couple of states, Michigan, Louisiana, that are making it a misdemeanor, that are overtly, putting some regulations on. But basically, this is unregulated at this point.
And this is probably something that once it gets out there and people spread it on social media, it just becomes more and more popular.
Absolutely. There's social media clips of kids doing this in high school classrooms. And, I think, again, when I remember some people doing it, although I never saw it, I heard about it, it was like a one-off kind of thing.
Yeah,
they were kind of experimenting with it. But because of the nature and the fact that you can buy them, like in a store, you can go in and do that, I think that now it's more addictive and just a lot more appealing to kids.
So in case 16-year-olds aren't watching right now, let's presume a parent or two might be. What would you tell them as far as how to spot it, how to talk about it? What do you recommend?
Yeah, well, with continued use, there can be lesions in the mouth. So if your child has lesions in the mouth, if they're acting a particular way, if you see the canister, I mean, initially you might not see it. One of the really popular brands, again, really equivalent to the Juul brand that's no longer in existence, is they called it Galaxy Gas. Now there's all different kinds, and that was a company that was sold for $1 in September. So I think it was sold off, and now it's just being rebranded. So look for literally canisters that are flashy, because you might see something like that, and as a parent, just be like, oh, what is this, and not think too much of it. So look for that, and look for things like if they say, nitrous, if they have it in their texts or they're talking about it, nitrous or whippets. Just be aware, because again, I think kids can think this is just fun. This isn't that big of a deal, but with continued use, it really can be addictive and damaging.
Good tip. Thanks as always. Dr. Sheryl Ziegler with us today.